Sleepover. After a while, Martin gave Helen a nod. She moved in closer and slowly peeled the skinny little child off her father's chest, giving him the evil eye the whole time. Helen didn't make a big deal over what had just happened. She could see that Sam had been on top, and could have jumped off at any time. But she was not happy with Martin. Helen assisted Sam to the bathroom and cleaned her up. While they were there, Helen took the chance to speak with the young girl. "That was very silly. You could have hurt yourself," she said softly. "I know, but I wanted it so bad. You know, I'm not happy with your dad. He shouldn't have let it get that far. And if he did, if he stopped me, I would have screamed the house down," Sam said adamantly. "I was okay. I could feel what was happening. Once I felt the fattest part of his cock was inside, I was great. ... And if you had torn your vagina open?" Helen replied, begging the girl to think of the consequences. "You said to me that it's my body, I get to choose. Correct?" Sam reminded Helen of her own words. "Yes, but I chose Daddy." Helen chose to drop it there. She could see that the little girl was actually a young lady. Martin was another question. She would have words with him later. Sam was tuckered out. She had lasted well through an afternoon of running, jumping, swimming, and fucking, but Helen saw the tiredness in her. "Why don't you go and snuggle up in Dawn's bed? You need to rest up a bit after that effort with your father," Helen suggested in a motherly tone. "Okay. But I still want to sleep with Luke and Dawn tonight. Don't let me miss out," she pleaded. Helen nodded, then ushered the little girl to Dawn's room and tucked her in. When Helen returned to the salon, Martin was also clean. He had used the ensuite in one of the guest rooms to clean the cum from his belly. She found him sitting, quietly chatting with Luke. Helen could see Lucy and her sleeping partners on the bed in one of the guest rooms, laying against each other. Even from this distance she couldn't miss Ben's white hand firmly grasping a firm black tit. "You, sir, should have known better," she said, admonishing Martin. "Sorry. It wasn't meant to happen that way." "Not good enough. I should kick your sorry ass down those stairs and out onto the street." "Helen," Luke piped up. "Sam has been talking about having sex with Dad for weeks. Ever since we worked out that Dad and Lucy were doing stuff. She wanted to be in on it too." "I know. She told me just then," Helen acknowledged, but pointing to Martin, "but still. Not good enough, boyo." Helen decided she needed to get off the topic. Turning to young Luke. "Are you looking forward to tonight?" "Oh, yes. Dawn and I will have a lot of fun. Condom every time, remember," Helen cautioned. "And that goes for Sam as well." "Hey. Thanks for reminding me," Luke said, excitedly. "When I was with Alistair he got me a condom, it was part of the story. And it was an ugly pink thing," he said, sounding embarrassed. "Do you have any black ones my size?" Helen rose and walked to the sideboard. Rummaging through the condom drawer for a while she produced a shiny black cardboard box. Holding it aloft she said just one word. "Yes." Luke hurried over to have a look at his prize. The label on the outside described them as chocolate brown, super strong, with tickler bumps down the shaft. He took them to his father, excited with the thought he would be able to show his condom-clad cock with pride. "You'll be able to try these out on Dawn," Martin encouraged his son. "These are just what every 14-year-old boy needs. I think I have another box of these downstairs. They are in the room Alistair is using. I'll get them later," Helen advised. "And I'll make sure we have plenty around the house for your next visit." They sat and chatted for a while, waiting for Alistair, Xena and Dawn to emerge. The three were squeezed onto a two-seat sofa, Luke happy snuggle in between the two adults. The adults were doing most of the talking, Luke just happy to sit and listen, both hands gently stroking the inner thigh of the person on each side. Luke already loved Helen. She was now his second mother. He'd kissed her, he'd hugged her, he had fucked her in every hole, and now he was content to just sit and pat the soft skin on her leg. "Where are you all?" It was Alistair's voice, a bit croaky, echoing up the stairwell. "Up here," yelled young Luke. The three filed into the room from the stairs, Dawn first at a trot, then Alistair, and finally Xena looking a little exhausted. They had all showered downstairs so they all looked fine, no cum stains and such. "How are you, darling?" Martin inquired. "Oh, I'm fine. I've just been fucked 17 times by these two, but I'm good." Xena's voice was croaky as well. "What's with your voice?" Martin was concerned. It was Dawn who answered. "We've all been screaming our lungs out. It was part of the story, so we can't say any more." Dawn's voice was the worst of them all. Martin was perplexed. Looking at Helen, "How come we didn't hear anything?" "Oh, sorry," she apologized. "I have a room next to my office for patients, clients. It is totally soundproof so I can let some of them scream their anger out. It's very cathartic. And other times, I don't want them hearing my family playing if they're in drama. And you lot have been down there screaming the whole time." "Yeah. Screaming ... and fucking, and screaming some more, and I have a new best friend," Zena added, giving Dawn a big hug. Martin just stood there, dumbfounded. Here was his wife, hoarse voice, beaming smile, hugging a 12-year-old girl, obviously praising young Dawn's sexual prowess. "Fuck me." The adults went back downstairs for coffee, leaving Luke and Dawn to themselves. Helen passed on Sam's wish not to be left out, which bothered children acknowledged. They wandered into Dawn's room and found Sam, curled up in a ball, fast asleep. The pair sat at the foot of the bed, Dawn welcoming Luke's arm around her waist. Luke had a question he had to ask. "What did you do to Mom? I know you can tell me the story, but what did you do to her?" Physically. "Oh, I can tell you that. I fist-fucked her," Dawn said, in a matter-of-fact tone. "What?" Luke was a little incredulous. "Just what I said. I stuck my hand, all of my hand, inside her pussy and fucked her. My arm went in almost up to my elbow. Your mom is very big inside. And Mom liked it?" "Absolutely," Dawn replied, emphatically. Part of Dad's story was that if you liked what the other person was doing you had to say so. Not softly, you had to yell it out. Dawn paused to choose her words. "We had your mom on her back, legs spread wide, with my arm inside her, and she was screaming as loud as she could punch me. Punch me up the cunt. And stuff like that." "Oh?" Dawn took Luke's hand and held it next to hers. "Your hand would fit inside her. You should try it at home one day. Believe me, she would love it." Dawn whispered. "I think my hand is bigger than your father's cock, and that's why." Dawn continued. "Your hand is bigger than mine. Imagine if you put it all the way inside and fucked her with it." Luke sat silent for a moment, taking in Dawn's words. Suddenly he jumped up and spoke. "Oh. I have a surprise." Before running out of the room, he returned with his box of condoms. "Your mother found me some brown ones," he announced, offering the box to his girl. "Oh. Goody. Wanna try one out now?" Dawn offered. Luke reminded Dawn that, with all the combinations that had happened today, the two of them had not yet had sex. They had kissed and hugged, but not yet fucked. Dawn could see that it meant a lot to him. She felt the same way, but in a family where everyone fucked for fun, sometimes some emotions were put aside. She turned to him, threw her arms around his neck, and whispered in his ear. "I love you. I loved you the moment I saw you in the living room." And she planted a kiss on him that lasted quite a while. When they finally came up for air, Luke was able to reply. "Me too. When I saw you walk in the room wearing those pretty pink shorts. You are so beautiful." They kissed again. Dawn pulled Luke over onto the bed. They lay there, naked, their heads so close to Sam they could hear her slow, heavy breathing. They hugged and they kissed for a long time. Dawn felt Luke's hard cock between them but made no attempt to touch his with her hands. It was resting between her legs, oozing juice onto her skin just above her slit. They hugged and kissed, occasionally stopping to look at each other and stroke their partner's face, touch their lips, run their hands through the other's hair. These were two kids in love. After a while Dawn started to grope around the bed with her hand, looking for the box of condoms, still kissing Luke. When she found it she held his behind Luke's head and tried to remove one from the box. Luke knew what she was up to, and didn't object, he just wanted to make it hard for her in the nicest way possible. With a hand on her crown to steady her head, he ravaged her face, pushing his lips hard against hers, thrusting his tongue in her mouth. After a short while she gave up, frustrated, and just started to hit the back of his head with the box. If he wouldn't allow her to remove one gently, then she would smash the box open on his head. Laughing a little, he fell off her before he spoke. "I love you." "Me too." It was Sam's voice. "Oh. Hello Sammy." Dawn joined in. "Did I wake you up? I was just trying to kill your brother." "I do that too. Sometimes." Sam responded, obviously still very sleepy. Luke clambered over Dawn to give his sister a kiss. He hovered over her, cock hanging below him, and gave her a kiss on the cheek. By the time he bent to kiss her again, she had turned her head. She wanted a kiss on the lips. "Thank you." Dawn rolled over and joined Luke, both of them kissing young Sam to wake her. When she kissed Dawn on the lips, Luke smooched one cheek. If she kissed Luke, Dawn smooched the other. "Now you two," Sam ordered. She spoke quietly, but they both knew it was an order. As they kissed, Sam spoke again. "Lukey, I like your new girlfriend." Dawn and Luke both looked at Sam. It was Luke who spoke. "How long have you known?" "Since Dawn first walked into the room this afternoon. I saw the look in your eye." Sam continued. "And the way you were when we had the pizza. You saw his penis." Sam was looking questioningly at Dawn. "Yes. It was dribbling." Sam added. "Yes, I know ... and I'm sure Luke saw the puddle of juice I was sitting in." "Yep." Luke added his comment. "You two need to fuck," Sam said abruptly. "That's what I was trying to do before your dumb brother stopped me. I was trying to get a condom out of the box. Helen found me some brown ones," he said proudly. Sam had seen the ridiculous pink one he wore during Alistair's story, and giggled at the thought of it. "Put one on. I want to see," Sam said excitedly. "Yeah, dumbhead. Put one on." Dawn mimicked, obviously with an ulterior motive. Luke knelt on the bed, knees spread, sitting on his heels. His tackle was very much on display to the two girls. Dawn reached in and gently massaged his cock and scrotum as he removed a condom from the box and tore it open. He handed it to Sam to do the honors. Condom training had been part of Alistair's story. Sam did an expert job, rolling the latex sheath down his pole, covering it completely. "I like the little bumps," Sam observed. "So do I," Dawn added. Ben had fucked her with these condoms many times. She loved those little bumps. Sam shuffled back against the wall to make room for the pair. Luke backed off to the foot of the bed, giving Dawn the room to stretch out in any position she liked. She moved to the middle of the bed, lay on her back, and spread her legs for her boy. She wanted to just lay there and have him take her. Sam was perhaps more excited than Luke. She loved watching other people have sex, and now she had a ringside seat to watch Luke fuck his new girlfriend for the first time. The boy lowered himself onto Dawn and pressed his chest against hers. He was light enough to lay on top of her without crushing the air from her lungs. She wrapped her arms around him, holding him tight, as the cock went in. He was hard. She was wet and wide open, and the boy knew how to aim without using his hands. All the practice with Sam had paid off. They locked lips as Luke started to fuck her gently. He knew she could take more, he had seen it. This was different. He knew this fuck would not end soft and gentle, but he wanted it to start that way. Dawn was loving the ticklers on the condom. The slow start actually made them better. She could feel them, one at a time, push past the tight skin at the mouth of her vagina. "This is yummy." Luke's pace began to quicken. The faster he got, the hornier he got. Dawn began to make little noises with every thrust, and as he pushed harder, the little noises turned into a word. "Yes, yes, yes." That did nothing to help him keep his cum in his balls. Just as he was about to blow, Dawn stopped speaking, unable to catch her breath in the middle of her orgasm. When he stopped, the chocolate condom was full of cream. "Lukey, lift up." She couldn't breathe. It was Sam, giving him orders again. But she was right. Luke had collapsed, with all of his weight on Dawn. Now that the adrenaline had slowed, she didn't have the strength to suck in enough air. He lifted his chest up in a press-up, driving his cock into her one last time. Both of them enjoyed that little experience. Luke backed away, kneeling between her legs again. He looked down at her pearl-white body, with its pretty pink nipples and hot pink cunt, and wondered how he could be so lucky. Dawn was looking back at his handsome face, satin black skin, and rock-hard cock, thinking the same thing. They stayed there a while, having a conversation with their eyes. "I need to pee." Sam broke the silence with her mundane, but very real need to empty herself. She shuffled along the wall to the foot of the bed and was gone. Dawn reached forward and carefully slid the condom from Luke's deflating cock. Then she did something that shocked Luke a little. She put the entire condom in her mouth and began to chew. "What the fuck?" he exclaimed. Dawn pushed the condom to one side so she could speak. "They're chocolate flavored. If you chew the little bumps, it releases a chocolate taste." Sam returned to see Dawn extracting the chewed-up condom from her mouth. Luke saw the shock on her face and spoke. "I'll tell you later, okay?" Sam just nodded. Dawn was next to the toilet. While she was gone, Luke asked Sam if she wanted any more sex that night. Sam had to admit to him that she was sore from impaling herself on her father's cock. They resolved to tell their mother if it wasn't better the next morning. Dawn had not yet returned, but Luke needed to pee as well. He strolled off to the bathroom to find the toilet, or Dawn, or both. When he arrived, it was obvious by the smell that Dawn needed a little more than a pee. "Sorry about the stink." "That's okay. Sam and I share a bathroom at home and we've both given up caring. I can be in there, cleaning my teeth, and little Miss Stinky Ass will come in and take a dump. Ben and I are a bit the same. We share this bathroom most of the time." Then, seeing Luke holding his penis, "If you need to pee, just go in the shower. Ben does it all the time if I'm in his way." So Luke stepped into the cubicle and intentionally turned so that Dawn could see his profile. He took his floppy tool and squirted the wall in front of him. Dawn watched the whole show, smiling. She loved watching boys piss. They kept chatting, even as Dawn wiped her ass. "Want to check if it's clean?" she asked. "Sure," Luke answered enthusiastically. Dawn turned around and offered the boy her ass. He just bent down and licked it. He didn't care if it was clean or not. It was clean now. By the time they washed and dried their hands, and strolled back across the hall to Dawn's bedroom, Sam was fast asleep again. The two of them chatted into the night, building their relationship. After a while Luke's cock would grow again, and they would burn another condom. Each time, Dawn would lay on her back in the middle of the bed, spread her legs, and wait for him to take her. On the third occasion he had to ask, "Do you do it in this position all the time?" "Oh, no. I like to fuck in all sorts of positions ... but tonight, you're on top." Her voice wavered with the last few words. Luke got it. To her, this was the most open, most vulnerable position she knew. And for her new boy, that is where she wanted to be, pinned under him, her hole wide open for him. She was laying there, like that, right now. He lowered himself onto again, and fucked her again, good and hard. Sam woke first the next morning. She crawled along the wall again and slipped off the foot of the bed without waking the naked pair next to her. She peeked in the trash basket next to Dawn's bed. She saw Dawn throw the first of the condom wrappers in there the night before and wondered if the two of them had used any more. One by one, Sam plucked wrappers out of the basket and laid them on Dawn's desk. She stopped counting at 7. The two young lovers had fucked 6 more times and had not woken her. Holy crap. She must have been tired.